Konnichiwa, Metaplanet shareholders. I'm so delighted to have the opportunity to speak with you today. Metaplanet and strategy are on the same mission together to convert the world to a Bitcoin standard. And we both view ourselves as being cheerful revolutionaries in the capital markets. Most conventional capital markets equities are valued based upon the promise of future money. But our company in Metaplanet, we're offering to be valued based upon the money we actually have. And most fixed income instruments in the capital markets are valued based upon the promise of future cash flows to pay off the debt. Whereas we're pioneering a new world where we actually issue fixed income instruments backed by the actual money that we have. And the reason we can do it is because both companies have capitalized on non-toxic money. We've capitalized on Bitcoin, a capital asset which is appreciating faster than the cost of capital. Every other company in the world is generally capitalized on sovereign debt or currencies that underperform the cost of capital. So I've had many great discussions with Simon, and he and I are on this journey together. It's a mission. It's a mission to deliver Bitcoin-backed securities to the world, and we see hundreds of trillions of dollars of equity and hundreds of trillions of dollars of fixed income instruments that are valued based upon what we see as antiquated 20th century methods. We're really excited about taking the capital markets in the 21st century. I think strategy is leading the charge in the United States, and Metaplanet is leading the charge in Japan. Thank you for supporting Metaplanet. Thank you for supporting Bitcoin. Thank you for supporting strategy. And we look forward to continuing this journey together, onward and upward.
Back to the channel. That was Michael Saylor talking to Metaplanet shareholders. We're talking a little bit more about Metaplanet here in a second. But we're going to get into MSTR, into Bitcoin. A lot of news in the traditional market as well today. That's why the market is pumping. We'll be discussing that, and I have a clip at the end, so make sure to stay tuned all the way to the end of the video. And apologize in advance, I have a little bit of a cold, but you can see here MSTR has acquired 6,900 BTC for around $580 million. They got it at around $84,000 per Bitcoin. So Saylor continuing to stack more and more BTC. And what's really interesting here, the money that they used to buy this Bitcoin is actually from the ATM. They hit the MSTR ATM for around 592 million, and the STR preferred stock, they hit the ATM there for around 1.1 million. So they used all that to buy Bitcoin, which is huge because we know that the STRF offering, none of that money, which was around $711 million, was used to buy Bitcoin. And that's going to be coming on March 25th. That's when that will be settled. So this week, Saylor will probably be using all that money to buy around another 7,000 Bitcoin that they're going to be adding to their balance sheet. So really impressive that Saylor was able to tap the ATM in the market where strategy was really trading sideways, going down, tapped it for around $600 million. That is a lot of money during kind of a downtime, a boring time while MicroStrategy is down. Imagine how much they'll be able to tap the ATM when the market's going up again. Currently, like right now, if you look at MSTR, we're blasting off right now at $330. We're up 9% today. And we'll be getting into the reason why this happened in a second here. But looking at the most actively traded US stocks today, MSTR is coming in the top 6. Up here traded with some of the biggest companies in the world. You can see these are trillion-dollar companies, and MSTR almost every single trading day has the same amount of volume, or close to the same amount of volume, to some of these other companies. And we're still very early in the trading day there, but that is really interesting to see how that happens almost every single day. But if you guys do need a place to trade MSTR, you can go over to MooMoo. We have an affiliate link. You sign up with our affiliate link, you can get up to 30 free stocks valued up to $2,000 each. Make sure to check that out. That'll be in the comment section below. And we have Bitcoin heading back to 89,000 right now. We're up around 4% on the day. So Bitcoin's up 4%. Got strategy up around 9%. Definitely good to see there. And why is the market pumping? Basically because of this news. President Trump is no longer expected to impose sector-specific tariffs on April 2nd. The S&P 500 is now up 75 points on the news. So some of the tariff fears are starting to go away. And if Trump doesn't actually impose these tariffs, if you look at the economy, inflation's coming down. We could have the Federal Reserve lowering the interest rates a couple of times this year. Bitcoin will probably continue to do well, which would be good for MSTR. And I think that's what we're seeing. MSTR and Bitcoin have a great day right now because of this news. But then I want to get a little bit into Metaplanet because they bought more Bitcoin as well. They bought an additional 150 BTC and they now hold 3,350 Bitcoin. So Metaplanet continuing to follow the strategy playbook, buying more and more Bitcoin. Good to see from them. But what's really interesting is I saw this post here from David Bailey. This is the Metaplanet shareholder meeting right now. Huge line still trying to get in. Japan is ready for Bitcoin. Might be worth getting some just in case it catches on. Now understand how big this room is here and understand there's a line for people trying to get into this conference. This is actually huge. Japan is starting to understand the power of Bitcoin. Understand that Metaplanet was one of the top performing stocks last year, not just in Japan, but in the entire world. And they're following the strategy playbook. And that was Saylor speaking to these people at the beginning of the video. So there's a lot of people who are really interested in Bitcoin, interested in what strategy is doing, interested in what Metaplanet is doing, and other countries are starting to catch on. And this just reminds me of like the hype that we've seen for strategy here in the States. It's probably very similar in Japan, the hype around Metaplanet. As you can see how many people are in this room, the shareholder meeting is massive there. That is crazy to see. So this is very, very bullish to see that. Just see this room here. That's very, very bullish. And then just an update here from Smash by Saturday. Over the past week, the retail members bought 1.6 Bitcoin, putting that into cold storage. If you don't know what Smash by Saturday is, we had an interview a couple of weeks ago with their founder, but it's basically just retail traders in a Twitter group that posts their Bitcoin buys every Saturday. And those retail investors bought 1.6 Bitcoins. So continuing to buy Bitcoin and putting it into cold storage. So cool to see there from Smash by Saturday. And I have a clip that I'll play for you guys here in a second, but I really appreciate you watching all the way to the end. It's looking like we're finally turning around in this market. MSTR is going up, Bitcoin is going up, and it lines up pretty well with that global M2 money supply chart that has been compared to Bitcoin so many times. We've been looking at this. So if you follow the same trend, you see where Bitcoin is going. And if Bitcoin is going here, you know strategy is going to be going in the same direction. So hope you guys found some value in today's video. Hit the like button, subscribe for more videos. Let's go ahead and check out this.
Sort of forward push by Hong Kong at the moment, a sign that trading and crypto could return to the mainland, which of course would be a huge boost for the market.
That's an interesting question. You know, Hong Kong is always the gateway to the Chinese mainland market, and Hong Kong is always used as the lab for experiments, either in economies or in new industries or new sectors. From what we run regulated exchange, regulated funds in Hong Kong. From our conversations with the regulators, I think in a way they are trying their best to use the one country, two systems as an experiment. If it's successful, I think there is the possibility the mainland China government will reconsider their stance towards the crypto and Web3 industry.
Do you think that's inevitable? Do you think the mainland government will definitely bring crypto back, or it's still a wait and see?
You know, for a government to have a clear message, it takes time. From what I know so far, our conversations with the mainland professionals and related sources, I think they are now looking at the market and see what's going on in other countries, what's happening in Web3 industries, and then they may come up with their response towards this industry. Sure.